Hey guys, welcome back to Collection Neo. It's Alex, obviously, and today we're reviewing a rather large piece. This is Prime One Studios Deluxe Gamera. Now, as you can probably tell straight away, I'm actually filming where he's on display. This is a big statue. It's a heavy statue. So instead of moving it over to the little video corner, I've decided to film him freehand, and then I'm going to go over the parts and just down here in one of my little bester units that I've got free. But I figured we'd go over some of the stuff that I always go over. I have got a bit of a sore throat. If you can tell in my voice, it's deep and sexy, not high-pitched and girly like usually. So I will be drinking to keep my throat lubricated, so I do apologise for that. But we'll go over a few things about Gamera and what Prime One have done. Now, if you don't know Gamera, he's nothing to do with Godzilla, not even made by the same people who made Godzilla. Godzilla's Toho. Gamera's by Dai Nippon, or Dai. Came around the same time as Godzilla in the 60s, and was always a bit of a joke, and continued to be a joke, until the 1990s. Godzilla finished in 95 with Godzilla vs. Destroyer, and basically they came out of these three Gamera films, one in 95, one in 96, and one in 99, which this Gamera is actually based on, which is Gamera 3, Revenge of Eris. Probably the best giant monster film ever made, in my opinion. The director, who I have his name written down here, yes, I've done research, is Shusuke Kaneko. He was a big special effects guy, and it really showed in the Gamera films. And he actually made my favourite Godzilla film as well, which was Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, which, if you haven't seen, is probably, it's up there with the best of the Japanese films. I mean, Shin Godzilla's great, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, and then, up there with like Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from the Showa era and all that stuff. Because if you don't know, I'm a huge Godzilla fan as well, as, I'm into everything. So when Prime One announced that they were doing a Gamera statue, it was kind of, it was a no-brainer. It really was, because if you don't know, Godzilla statues, really, there's only been ones made in kit form. There's some Japanese resins which are really expensive, nothing really large, definitely not this size. And most Godzilla collectors collect from X Plus, which are vinyls, which are super detailed. They do a gigantic series as well, which are really big, but there's no bases. There's no. Some do have switch outs. They're about $400 or $500, and it's just never sat well with me. I've got no problem with vinyl and PVC. You can do some incredible stuff with it, but they've just never sat with me. So hopefully Prime One will pick up the Godzilla license with Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out this year. I'd look with them doing Kong and Gamera. There's a bit of hope there that we'll get something. So just to go over what we've got here. Now, Prime One actually released 3 versions of this. Let me get my notes. So what you see here, with this head, and the body, without the base, forget the base for a minute, in vinyl. So they did a vinyl version of this to go with those, those collectors who like the vinyl, who collect X Plus. They did a vinyl version of this, and that's $499. I've got no idea what the edition size was on it, but that was $499. Then they also did the same statue again with that arm, that head, and this switch out flame arm, which we'll go over in a moment, in polystone, but with no base, for $699. And now this version, which is the one I've got, is the deluxe version, which comes with this head, 2 other switch out heads, which we'll go over in a minute, that arm, the switch out flame arm, and the ginormous base. It is ginormous, which we'll go into in a minute, for $999. So this was a $1,000 piece, same as Guyver, who's standing there. But it's just, it's vast. The shipping on this guy is the most I've ever paid on a statue. It's $250 to the UK. It came in two rather large boxes. One box was just for the base. If you can't see how big that base is, there's my hand on it. I've got pretty big hands. It's ginormous, and there it is sitting on a Besta cube. See Taki underneath there? And there I've got Ultimate Swordsman and Shibumi. Now, Ultimate Swordsman is not a small statue, with a small base. You know, it just looks kind of small compared to Gamera. It actually doesn't fit on, as you can see. It's over the edge, and it says over at the back as well. But it's the only place I could actually put the base. I have uploaded photos to Instagram and a few other places, Prime One Collectors Group, and you can actually see the base sitting here next to the Guyver base, and it's literally hanging off a Besta. It's about 27 inches deep by 27 inches wide. Obviously not super high. Overall, Gamera only stands about 20, I think it's about 27 inches with the base. So he's not a huge, tall statue. He's just got a lot of girth. Got a lot of girth. So where was it? Yeah, so this is the deluxe version. $999. This one's limited to 500. I think it's actually sold out, or it's at least on low stock on Sideshow. So what I'm going to do is we're going to give Gamera a spin. We'll go over the head that's in. I'll do my best for you here, guys. The lighting's not as good as it is in my little cubbyhole. You can see the big hole in the carapace, which where Iris stabs him. I keep saying Iris because that's how they say it in the Japanese. A lot of people probably say Iris. Say Iris. The claws, translucent resin. Really nicely done. The big tusks on Gamera, these ones are translucent, but the normal teeth are just normal polystone. Come down to the legs. Claws on the feet are translucent resin. We've got the buildings, we've got little street lights. There's the Gamera symbol. I'd really recommend you watch the 95, 96 and 99 versions. They are super, super good. They did a lot of things that kaiju films hadn't done before. Like literally killing people. So we've got buildings destroyed here. As we go around very carefully. Lazy Susan is under there doing her job. We're pushing it to the max. We've got these huge spears coming out the back. Again, translucent resin. Then the huge shell. You've got the hole at the back where Iris actually stabs straight through Gamera, through the stomach at the back. The huge shell. More details on the base. And more destroyed housings. Just make sure his tail doesn't clip Shibumi. We're clear. It's just great detail all round. Now this guy actually, I think I ordered him in about, I think he went up about September last year, or maybe a bit earlier. And he wasn't due until July, maybe a bit early in September actually, maybe around August, July, August. And I think he was due July this year. And he actually shipped about 2 weeks ago. So obviously, whatever factory Prime One put this guy in, they were doing quick work. And I'm happy to report he is fantastic, as you can probably see. He's not, we've got no King Kong fear going on here. This is all sculpt and paint, baby. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the hand, take off the head. We're going to sit down, and then I'm going to go over the bits that we get in the box with the deluxe version. And we'll be right back. Right guys, we're back. Hopefully the light isn't too bad here. I'll just go over what we've got in this deluxe package. So first off, you get this card here. They're the two boxes. Not a lot of pieces, as you can see. The houses for the base, but the base is, like I say, it's 26 by 26 inches. It's really, really big. Set up, we've got a bit of nice art. I love that they call them this Ultimate Diorama Masterline. Gamera 1999. deluxe version. And then we've got instructions how to set him in. You have to put him in before you put the buildings in. How to set up the flame arm, which I'll go over in a minute. Head 1, head 2, head EX. Now it does say head 1, head 2, head EX there, but you only get the head that I've shown you with the polystone version. So it's the 2 heads, which I'll explain in a minute, which come with this version. All the pieces laid out. Some nice shots, some Prime 1 info. As you know, Prime 1 at the minute are my boys. They are doing God's work in the statue world. So first off, this is the head that we've just had on. So this is Gamera, straight on ahead, mouth open. And this is the head that you will get if you buy the vinyl version or the polystone version that isn't the deluxe. You will just get this head. And to be fair, it's probably the best head. You know, mouth open, looking straight on, great for display. But I do like one of the deluxe heads better. Where can I put that? Okay, I'll just put it here. These heads are huge, by the way. It's a bit cumbersome to have them all out. And what can I grab for just compare? Whose head comes off? 2 seconds, let's grab something. So here's Guyver's EX head. Here's one of the Gamera heads. And it's like this huge piece. I'll try and get them at the same length away from the camera. So it's, you know, these are big pieces, as you can see. Now, I'll just put it back on the bust. Now, I think it would have been great, considering this is the deluxe version, if they had included stands for these. This is the head I actually really like. So this is like a turned head. So that'd be the angle that you'd see it at. See his neck slightly angled, mouth closed. It just looks mean as fuck. Really nicely done. Don't know how much it'll pick up the green in his eyes, but the green is there. So let's put that one there. And then the last one you get is turn to his left, mouth wide open. A lot more than that one. Can I even get them both on? A lot more than that one. Again, another great option, to be honest. All 3 heads are great. I'm not going to say they're essential, but if you're a Gamera fan and you're a statue collector, you'll be buying the deluxe version anyway. Everything picked out nicely, neat. Detail in the mouth looks great. Like I say, these big tusks are translucent resin, and those smaller ones are polystone, and the rest of the teeth are polystone. But it's really nicely done. So they're the 3 heads you get with the deluxe version. And this is the hand they've just pulled off, just so we can get a close-up of those nails. Like I say, translucent resin again. Big claw on the end here. It's a big old peg magnet here. Yeah, I think that's it. Everything clips together as usual, nice and solid, no problems. And then the extra hand, like I say, you don't get this in the vinyl version, but you do get it with the polystone version, and you do get it with the deluxe version, which this is obviously. And then in the box it comes like this. So you get the huge, it's actually the claw there, you can actually see. And what this is, in the movie he loses his arm. And kind of like goes for doing his huge, he fires giant fireballs out of his mouth. And it kind of comes back into him and he sucks it into his arm and it turns into like a giant flame sword and he sticks it straight through Iris. And it's like the climax of the movie. It really stands up. I mean, you know, it's a 20-year-old film now, which is, makes me feel so old. But special effects still look great in it. You see the claw. So what that piece I just took out there is actually like the the big claw, like the dew claw that goes in there. And then this piece is actually the peg. So you get a little magnetic battery pack, no batteries included. It's 2 AAAs, that just magnetises on. And then this goes in like that where the magnet is. Big magnet there, big magnet there. It's really secure. And then your dew claw actually does the light up. I don't know if it is his dew claw, but we're going with that. Light up's actually really nice, really bright. And because it's there, it's actually really, and once it's pegged in, obviously, when you're pushing on there, it won't matter. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm not going to bore you too much with this. I'm going to stick the flame arm in. We'll stick the 2 heads in that you haven't seen. Quick 360 and we'll finish. Okay, I'll pause and we'll go back to him. And there he is, guys. There's the flaming arm. Lit up. Unlit. Let's go a couple of steps back so you can see him. This is the head looking to his left with the big mouth open, you know. So if you did want to display him at an angle slightly, one of these heads probably would benefit. That's him straight on. Still looks mean, still looks really good. Let's turn that all back on. And then what I'll do now, I will attempt to change heads on camera. So we've got a big magnet, big peg hole. And because he's a turtle, he is a turtle, he's not a tortoise. Because he's a turtle, he has all these like lines and carapace marks, so you can literally, you know, it's really well hidden. Like I say, this is the 3rd head. This is the one I really like. Which happens to be the toughest one to get in. Oh my god. Let me try that again. And he's in. Like I say, it's just, I don't know what it is about it. I just like the closed mouth. He looks mean as fuck. That flaming arm. Another, just, I love it. Now if Prime 1 can get that Godzilla license, oh boy, am I going to have space issues. But like I say, he is massive. He doesn't look that big, but if you've seen Ultimate Swordsman or Machao or Zhao Yun, you know, he's a big boy. It's that base. That base is so big. I'm going to get right back for you guys, because the collection's looking pretty good at the minute, so I'm going to get right back. Ignore that glass of pop. Yes, we still call it pop here. You know, it's looking pretty fucking good at the minute. But there you go, guys. I guess that's it. I think I did write a lot of other stuff down, but no, not really. Yeah, just that it was $250 shipping. Fuck me, it was literally 199 quid. But luckily I did all right on taxis. £56 to be exact, so happy with that. But there you go, guys. It's Gamera 3 from Prime 1 Studios. Thank you, Prime 1, for making Gamera. Honestly, it's again, they're doing dream pieces. We got Ultraman from Prime 1. We got the fucking Guyver from Prime 1. We got Kinnikuman from Prime 1. You know, and a lot more to come. So yes, thank you, Prime 1. You my boys. I just wish your statues weren't so fucking epic and expensive, but you know, again, I'd prefer spend $1,000 on something and be so impressed with it and just forget about the money, like the Guyver, like Gamera, than pay $500 for something and think it's a bit really, at the end of the day. I will say, you know, there's a couple of statues here that are just looking a bit for the money now. Not to name names, but no, Gamera's putting them all to shame along with the rest of Prime 1. Next review, guys, I don't know what it'll be. Just thinking over it. It could be Guyver Zero. That should be coming next. Again, more Prime 1. Robin Mask is supposed to be shipping in Feb as well. We've got a bunch of dinos coming. I'm thinking of picking up some DC pieces, so maybe you'll see a few of them. And maybe a couple of Marvel. I said I wouldn't go back, but you know, I can never keep a promise. But there we go, guys. Prime 1 Gamera. Money well fucking spent. And thanks for watching if you stuck around, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.